See, all going to be hot and humid spots today. Right now, we are looking at that risk of storms. I know in New York, you had a storm this morning, right? There is that chance of some scattered thunderstorms today, but unfortunately, a better risk of severe weather as we get you into Thursday. So let's take a look at Thursday's timing of storms. We're tracking this multi-day severe weather event, very strong, very powerful storm system, and the front that's going to provide the lift that Kate was just talking about, this is all tracking east. So by Thursday, the front tracking into western PA, also western New York. Lots of moisture ahead of it. A really interesting fact right now, up in Caribou, Maine, the northern part of Maine, the dew point is 69 degrees. That is pretty high for us in Maine, even in the southern portions of the state. So to get that all the way that far north, it is humid. Plenty of moisture for this front to work with, and that kind of air lifts very easily. We will see thunderstorms on Thursday and potential severe weather across western Pennsylvania, western New York, all the way down into West Virginia and parts of northern Virginia and western Maryland. Damaging winds and hail going to be the main threats, along with some heavy rain and lightning too out of this system.
So not only do we have all of that, we have twin typhoons, we have another possible threat for Hawaii, and now we're going to have Tropical Depression 4 in just a few minutes. We've got all the details coming up next.
To kill germs, I used to think a mouthwash had to burn. Then I went pro with Crest Pro Health mouthwash.
Go pro with Crest Pro Health. It's formulated to target and kill 99% of germs without the burn of alcohol. So you move to a healthier mouth from day one.
Hi, what happened to your hair?
I got it. Walgreens has all you need to keep it all under control. From a little touch-up,
Come on, guys.
to finding that perfect finishing touch, to making memories at the touch of a button. All without missing a beat. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
What's up with this weather, huh?
Today's weather? Well, I'd get things done this morning because we've got some big changes rolling through this afternoon. Jen Delgado, let's show her where these storms are coming from.
We'll be seeing some heavy rains this afternoon, possibly causing some flooding downtown. So the kids' soccer practice, well, likely it's going to be a wet one, Sam.
That should get you started on your day. So now back to you.
Back to me.
Sam Champion on the Weather Channel. Weather personalized.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under partly cloudy skies. Today, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High 89, chance of rain 60%. Tonight, cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Wednesday, morning thunderstorms. High 89. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You can mass produce a car, but you can't mass repair it. Right now, get $10 off any oil change at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
130 yards now.
Bill's got a very tough lie here.
Looks like we have some sort of sea monster in the water hazard here.
I believe that's a kraken, Bruce.
It looks like he's going to go with the 9-iron. That may not be enough club.
Well, he's definitely going to lose a stroke on this hole.
If you're a golf commentator, you whisper. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
This golf course is electric.
Pain from your day can haunt you at night. Don't let it. Advil PM gives you the healing sleep you need, helping you fall asleep and stay asleep so your body can heal as you rest. Advil PM, for a healing night's sleep.
Did you know only 1% of supplements have earned the USP mark? An independent certification for quality and purity. I recommend Nature Made because they've earned the most of any brand.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended fish oil brand. When you have a migraine, you'll reach for anything to make the pain go away. Truth is, most pain relievers don't work like Excedrin migraine. It relieves my pain starting in 30 minutes. That's fast, plus sensitivity to light and sound.
Excedrin migraine.
Wow, that was fast.
At the Friskies Playhouse, we came up with new Friskies Pull and Play with tender string treats cats can eat. Edible string was Lucy's idea and Charlie's. New Friskies Pull and Play. The whole.
This is the dawn of an old day because AT&T and DirecTV are offering yesterday's technology today. TV from space. As long as it's not too rainy. Or windy. Or there isn't a branch in the way. Welcome to the moment no one's been waiting for.
The fastest internet and the best TV experience is already here with X1, only from Xfinity.
You know me as Nota Begay III, golf analyst for NBC Sports and Golf Channels and founder of the MB3 Foundation. But my favorite title is Champion for Kids' Health. I'm living my dream, and I want to make that possible for all children. We must give kids what they need to become teachers, artists, doctors, even golfers. But dreams can get lost if our kids aren't healthy. And right now in our country, 1 in 3 kids are obese. We must do better. Join me. Help all kids live healthy now so they can build healthy futures.
This kind of weather, all bets are off.
All right, tropical update and breaking news. There is now a depression in the Atlantic, TD4. It is the first depression of the month of August. So get right to it and show you the latest. So advisories have been initiated on this area that we've been watching right here. Winds at 35 miles per hour, pressure at 1,009. It is moving west at 13 miles per hour. The latitude is about 10 degrees north of the equator. So tracking this area, and one thing I will say I noticed, and I advanced past it, but when you look at the satellite, yesterday there was a lot more activity in general in this band. Now this is really the main event that we're tracking in that area. So it certainly has taken on a circulation of its own. We take a look at the projected path. It's generally west, a little bit north of west, and also in terms of intensity, the models right now do have it strengthening into a hurricane. There's a lot for this to have to overcome to get to this point. There's a lot of dry air still out there. The Saharan air layer, the dusty air layer is just off to its north and west, so that will be likely be at least entrained into a portion of this. So here it is right now as we look at it on a satellite perspective. Again, you can see the spin to the clouds and how they're moving around in that counterclockwise direction as you would look for. And in general, a lot of the thunderstorm activity continuing to congeal around that center of circulation. Another thing that you'll look for as well. We spin around the globe and go over into the Pacific, and right now our attention is on the central Pacific. Here's Hawaii up here. Here is the area that we would generally see thunderstorms form in that ITCZ, Intertropical Convergence Zone. And right here is what we are watching for potential development. This is Invest 93C with winds of 25 miles per hour right now. Models have been clicking onto this one and thinking something by next week could develop, but perhaps around the Hawaiian Islands, an area of low pressure that could be impacting them there. One thing that certainly gives us pause is that the water temperatures are very warm, in fact, record warm in the mid 80s. And so plenty of warm water for this thing to continue to turn over. And you'll see the path that is expected to take keeps it over that warm water. You know, if we see storms come in from the east to Hawaii, oftentimes they get over some cooler water temperatures. Not going to be the case for a system that comes in from the south, which is why we do certainly worry about this general track more than we would something coming in from the east. And one of our models, the GFS forecast model, does have an area of low pressure over the weekend into early next week affecting us here in Hawaii. Again, we are days out. It still hasn't formed yet, but nonetheless, this is something that we need to continue to watch. The European model too does have something not quite as strong, but something that they are watching. So we got a lot going on for us right now. We take a look here at the globe overall, and we've got an area to watch off the coast of the Atlantic. It is non-tropical, but it's something to watch. We have TD4, and of course we have that Central Pacific Invest 93C. But Kate, it is the season that you would expect all of this to be in these places.
Lines up almost perfectly with what we typically see for tropical storm origins for August, at least mid-August. Look at this. We have Tropical Depression 4 forming, right over here. We've got that area to watch right up here, right on target. We've been looking a lot out toward the coast of Africa. That's what we do as we get into August. However, we can't ignore things closer to home because obviously we still see things form in the Gulf of Mexico, in along the Atlantic, right up the eastern seaboard. So we're watching all of that as we get into late August. Look at the number of origins that happen right here across that monsoonal trough. That is going to be where we really hone in on as we get toward the end of this month. There's just a tremendous change as we head into August and September on the number of hurricanes that we see that form statistically. August on average sees 2, so we'll see what happens. Look at this, from 1900 to 2010, this is our hurricane strikes per county, right? So the darker red means you have more strikes. Obviously, the coast of North Carolina, Cape Hatteras, you're going to be in the reds there, 26 plus. And we've got, look at this, right here, Southwest Florida, actually 26 plus hurricane strikes, while Miami-Dade, Broward counties, you're actually more in the low 20 range with number of strikes. You go up a little farther along the coast, Jacksonville, near none. But the thing is that doesn't mean it's out of the question. That almost creates greater complacency because you think that you can't get struck, and you certainly can. There have been 7 hurricanes to hit Florida that happened back in 2004 and 2005. But that was the last time, Jen.
It has been a long time.
So it's been, on average, it's more like 6 to 7 years you get a hurricane there. Yeah. We're over that. We're at 10 years.
We certainly are, and feels like we're due, right? Well, we want to mark the 10-year anniversary of one of America's worst natural disasters. So the Weather Channel is taking viewers on a scientific journey through possible scenarios that could take place if Hurricane Katrina hit 50 years from now. It's a future-focused 1-hour special called Katrina 2065, and it will utilize cutting-edge weather animations to address the question that much of the Gulf Coast still asks itself: could this happen again, and could we endure it?
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under partly cloudy skies. Today, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High 89. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Wednesday, morning thunderstorms. High 89. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And right here on Weather Center Live, breaking news with a new tropical depression, the first of the month of August in the Atlantic. It is TD4. We are tracking the continued odds of development. Kate, it's winds 35 miles per hour right now, but we are tracking it out here, well, out into the Atlantic.
Right. This is an area pretty typical for this time of year that we would see something develop. We've been monitoring these thunderstorms since they emerged off the coast of Africa and passed south of the Cape Verde Islands, and they have congealed. They've seen a little bit better circulation form. What we need, though, is a nice warm core. We need that thunderstorm to be those thunderstorms persistent right around the center. That's when we start to bump up into a tropical storm range, and it would be named Danny if this did advance into a tropical storm. It's anticipated to do so. Look at this rapid intensification. This is our very first time seeing this forecast because the Hurricane Center just releasing it with their 11 a.m. advisory. Look at this. Anticipated to be hurricane strength by Friday morning, even stronger as we head into Sunday. But what we're not getting out in our forecast range, because we're just not close enough, we're too many days out, is the fact that we have very high shear over the Caribbean. So, I don't want you to count on that, but I want you to know there are obstacles for this thing. It doesn't have a straight shot right into the Caribbean. Take a look at what's going on our visible satellite. You can see the cluster of thunderstorms trying to make their way right around the middle. We want to have that warm core. That is what a tropical system is. It's a heat transport engine. It's going to take all that heat from around the equator and move it north. So the monsoonal trough that we see, this is really key. You'll notice the wind. See how they're coming in this way? and then coming in this way, we've got this convergence of winds happening. That's exactly where we've seen this invest form, or this tropical depression now, Tropical Depression 4. And the problem is that once you start getting into the Caribbean, you have a little bit higher wind shear, so that's something we're monitoring. But we also have thunderstorms in the forecast, Jen.
Yeah, we do. And we were worried about a multi-day severe weather threat that began yesterday, and indeed it did. So take a look at the storms that we saw and the damage done. Starting in Colorado, where in Elbert County, Colorado, the sheriff's office shared this picture, and you can see a funnel cloud off in the distance. Now, the tornado was reported in this area on the ground for 5 minutes. No damage reported, but there was also quarter-inch hail and wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Not the only spot, though. We want to take you into Genoa, Colorado yesterday, and this is where damage was reported. The National Weather Service survey team will be out here to assess the damage. Right now, it hasn't been classified as a tornado. It may have been strong damaging winds, but again, they'll go out and look at this. You can see how the grain bins were pushed in, a lot of debris scattered about. A lot of power lines were impacted as well. You can see in this case, a power line down completely right here in Lincoln County. Trees were snapped, power lines down. But thankfully, with all of this damage you see, no injuries were reported. Last night, shared by Kimberly Thornton. Look at this. Amazing, amazing, very vivid, right? But look at the ground. I love how you can see the reflection. Almost can see the streaks right there in the water that's on the ground. But what's also really amazing is how many lightning strikes there were. And Jess, you've got the stats on Colorado and the lightning strikes last night.
Yeah, they got over 30,000 cloud-to-ground lightning strikes last night.
30,000 cloud-to-ground.
And their normal value would be around 4,200. So it's 7 times more than they would typically see.
That's amazing.
On a summer day.
That's amazing. 30,000 cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. What a night, guys, here. Thankfully, we're going to be getting a break today from the weather, but everything is pushing east, and we are going to see a lot of active weather again today, Kate.
We already have seen a lot of active weather, and that's the big question as we play it forward. You know, we're talking to a lot of the National Weather Service local offices, and they're kind of agreeing, and even the SPC yesterday saying, hey, you know what, if we get a lot of these thunderstorms, it may lower some of the instability in the atmosphere. But let me show you why that exists. We've got this surface low, we've got the cold front, we've got that warm moist air, we've got that cold dense air that's going to be sliding beneath that, lifting those air parcels, creating an unstable environment. Then we're going to add in a few other things. We've got that strong low level wind that's going to be able to sustain those thunderstorms a little bit longer lived. And then in the upper levels, we have a very strong jet stream that will allow them to grow even taller, even stronger, Jen. So this is a setup that we typically don't see in August, but concerns us.
It certainly does. The threat for severe weather is there. And one of the cities under the biggest threat for today is Kansas City. They have a Torcon of 4, and storms are likely to be strong to severe into the afternoon. Mike Seidel is standing by in Kansas City with the latest. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Jen. We had a shower this morning around 8 o'clock. It lasted about 15 minutes here at Union Station, just south of downtown. Nearby downtown airport picked up just 0.06 of an inch of rain. This is part of a system that's going to move on through late morning and early afternoon, what's left of a complex of thunderstorms from overnight and this morning. Now, Wichita down the road only had about 0.2 of an inch of rain, so it's not dropping a lot of rain. There's no severe weather with it. The question is, what happens as the cold front presses east later this afternoon and this evening? Does the atmosphere heat up enough? Do we get enough destabilization to fire up more storms, some of which could be severe, could produce some hail, some wind damage, and maybe a tornado or two? Here's our hour-by-hour forecast. Notice the storm threat increasing through the afternoon and evening. Again, some of those could be rather rambunctious. Then once the front goes on through, how about some September-like weather? Take a look at that 5-day forecast. Tomorrow morning, waking up with temperatures down in the mid-50s, only in the mid-70s with a fair amount of clouds on Wednesday, average high 88. Another wonderful start to the day on Thursday, back in the 50s. And then another cold front will approach by Saturday. That'll warm things back up close to 90. So far in August, we've only had 3 90-degree days here in Kansas City. The average for the entire month is 13. So we are running a little bit behind in that department. We'll keep you updated on the severe threat across the Midwest and Plains, a multi-day event right here on the Weather Channel. Jen, back to you.
All right, Mike, thank you. Sorry to see those storms, Kansas City, but wow, that Thursday forecast looks about perfect, Kate.
It does. A nice little break from all this heat. I know it's been hot in the Midwest, but these numbers are pretty hot, right?
Yeah.
Our Torcons, we've got a 4 for Des Moines, Kansas City, and Wichita, but what's important here is the timing, because this is when you need to change your plans. If you have anything planned between now and 8 p.m. in Des Moines, it's time to adjust those plans between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. in Kansas Kansas City, Wichita now through about noon. That's whenever you need to go ahead and say, okay, if I was planning on taking the kids to the pool, not going to be a good day for it. The risk for severe weather today, north of Des Moines, south of Oklahoma City. That huge swath there, the possibility of damaging winds. You could see some pretty large hail, dangerous lightning, and an isolated tornado. Look at the system currently. Man, we've got several thunderstorms making their way toward Lawrence and going to be eventually moving into Kansas City. Then you go north, Omaha. I know I've been saying this every day, but you have just had days on days of thunderstorms this year, this summer. You've got more of them today. You're in the risk area. Look at this big line that's heading toward Des Moines, eventually going to be making its way there. None of that's severe right now, but that doesn't mean that later today we may not see that. But all of this rain has to use up something in the atmosphere. It's using up a lot of our energy. So as we get later in the day, we'll be watching some of these cells. Even later tonight through Missouri, they could become severe.
This program brought to you by Citgo. Learn about Citgo Coastal Restoration at CitgoCaringForOurCoast.com.
Hi, my name is Tom.
I'm Raph.
My name is Ann.
I'm one of the real live attorneys
you can talk to through LegalZoom.
Don't let unanswered legal questions hold you up.
Because we're here.
We're here.
And we've got your back.
LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
I'm only in my 60s. I've got a nice long life ahead. Big plans. So when I found out Medicare doesn't pay all my medical expenses, I got a Medicare supplement insurance plan.
If you're eligible for Medicare, you may know it only covers about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. Call now and find out about an AARP Medicare supplement insurance plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare supplement insurance plans, it could save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. Call now to request your free decision guide.
I've been with my doctor for 12 years. Now I know I'll be able to stick with them.
You'll be able to visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients. Plus, there are no networks and virtually no referrals needed. See why millions of people have already enrolled in the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP. Don't wait. Call now.
Let's move now.
Why was she dropped into Times Square? And why was my name tattooed on her back?
She can't remember who she is.
Nothing.
We think she might have been a SEAL.
That'd explain a few things.
Blind Spot premieres Monday, September 21st on NBC.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 92. Tonight, cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Wednesday, morning thunderstorms. High 89. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
HQ, hacks from foodies for the hottest days of the year and how your favorite pro golfers and race car drivers beat the August temps and stay on their game on AMHQ.
Our oath isn't an empty gesture. It's the heart and soul of Terminix Nation. The Terminix Ultimate Protection Guarantee. 100% satisfaction or your money back. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminix.
Your paycheck. Your family depends on it. But if something happened to you, you need life insurance. And chances are SelectQuote can get it for you for under $1 a day. SelectQuote found Alec, 38, a $500,000 policy for under $23 a month. SelectQuote found Kenesha, 39, a $350,000 policy for under $14 a month. SelectQuote's secret? They impartially shop a select group of highly rated companies like these for your best rates. Give your family the security it needs at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote could save you hundreds of dollars on life insurance.
To see how much you can save, call 1-800-352-8300 or visit SelectQuote.com. Discover what over 1 million families now know. We shop, you save.
Breaking news, we do have Tropical Depression 4 just named in the Atlantic. You're taking a look at it right there on satellite, showing you the coldest cloud tops, which means that's going to be where we have the majority of thunderstorms, and they're trying to circulate around that center of circulation. The more condensed they get around the middle, the stronger it becomes. We're releasing that latent heat, and that goes back into the system, makes it stronger. By Sunday, could be a 100-mile-an-hour hurricane as it nears the Windward Islands. This is really the first time that we've had something to watch in this part of the Atlantic this year.
We have, interestingly, the first time this season that we've had something start with a depression, because our first three went right to a name. Subtropical, Anna, Bill, and then Claudette went right to the name.
Danny would be the name if this is, if and when this is upgraded to a tropical storm.
All right, so we also have thunderstorms to track here over the lower 48. Let's take a look at the radar. We've been watching a lot of active weather in Iowa and southern Minnesota. Minneapolis, if you look south, I bet you see a lot of lightning out there. We're looking at some rain around the Omaha area, some thunderstorms embedded in that as well. Over towards Des Moines, we are getting a break at the moment, but there is definitely more to come today.
A lot of folks waking up and saying, hey, when can I go outside? When can I get errands done? When is it safe to do so? So we're going to get some inside perspective from Brian Smith with the National Weather Service in Omaha. Brian, we're looking for a little local perspective here on exactly what you guys are anticipating, because it seems like Omaha has seen a lot of thunderstorms lately.
That's right. We have seen a lot of thunderstorms over the last couple of days, especially. We've had a lot of heavy rain, especially in the Omaha metro area, 4 to 5 inches. We're going to continue to get some precipitation today, maybe up to an inch of rain or so in the Omaha area as this weather system moves through.
So, Brian, what do you think about the risk for severe weather, given the fact that you've had so much rain already today? It's still very cloudy out there right now. Do you still think that there's a threat for severe weather this afternoon and evening?
Well, I think the threat of severe weather is going to be mainly confined, if any, to the extreme southeast part of Nebraska, and then areas further south of the Omaha area. The one problem is we've had so many clouds and all this precipitation, it's going to hamper the heating that you need for development of extreme severe weather.
All right, Brian Smith with the National Weather Service in Omaha. Thank you so much for your perspective on that. And Brian mentioned the heavy rain. I saw some flash flood warnings earlier down around that area, so no doubt heavy rain that falls in the region again could trigger new warnings. That'll be something to watch.
It also is kind of a benefit, though. We like to see rain earlier on in the day. It stabilizes the atmosphere a little bit, so that's a little bit of good news. But tomorrow, this continues. It's not a one-day thing.
So let's take a look at the areas that we're watching for tomorrow. We've got the red zone that goes all the way tomorrow from lower Michigan right into Indiana and Ohio, and also into Tennessee and Arkansas. That's the area in red where we could see severe weather. The area in orange, you could see some general thunderstorms as well, and we've got that outlined in yellow on this particular vantage point. But let's go ahead and zoom into the area at risk and give you some timing. We are looking at Memphis for you from lunchtime to about midnight. Strong gusty winds, large hail, a lot of lightning, and I think some heavy rain too is going to be an impact. We go up here into Indianapolis, and we are going to be watching for storms, possibly starting in the morning, like the situation we've been watching today. Could see some early day thunderstorms, but then another round is possible as well, with the threat for some severe weather here. All right, so watching up towards Detroit, 2 p.m. to 4 a.m. for you tomorrow. Coming up, we're going to track this whole thing east and also look at the tropics.
Uh-oh, your purse is out of reach. You're distracted, frustrated, and in no time, you've got a purse pileup all over the dirty car floor. Not anymore. Introducing Purse Pouch, the handy handbag holder that keeps your purse in a pouch, so it's always secure and by your side for easy access. Just place your purse in the pouch or hammock it on the pouch, and it stays put. It's so easy. Purse Pouch hooks and hammocks between your car seats in seconds. No tools, hardware, or headaches. Instantly, that empty space between the seats is a perfect pouch that holds your purse tight right where you need it. The easy adjustable straps create a custom fit for any purse, any bag, anything large or small. Purse Pouch holds them all, keeping content safe, sure, and secure. No more searching for storage spots, purses on dirty car floors, or inconveniencing your passengers. It's a pouch for your purse and a hammock for your handbag, gym bag, backpack, computer case, briefcase, or anything you want within arm's reach. And Purse Pouch is completely portable, making it the simple mobile storage solution for busy moms, business trips, family vacations, and even rental cars.
After hauling around kids all day, looking for my purse was like searching through the lost and found. But with Purse Pouch, it's always right side up and right where I need it.
Purse Pouch is an easy and affordable way to keep your purse off your dirty car floor, to keep it clean and close at hand.
I kind of laughed when my wife put the Purse Pouch in the car, but I have to admit, having my phone and computer tablet next to me on business trips, pretty handy.
Stop reaching and stop those embarrassing purse pileups. Get your very own Purse Pouch in stylish tan or black for just $10. But wait, call now and we'll double the offer and send another Purse Pouch for a second family car or to give as a gift, and it's yours free. Just pay separate processing and handling. You get 2 Purse Pouches of $40 value for just $10. Here's how to order.
To order Purse Pouch for just $10 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-370-1310 or order online at pursepouch.com.
About how far you can push yourself.
This ain't your mama's science show.
There's no need to show off that.
Before Mars, before space stations, before shuttles, before one small step, before rocket rides, before flat tops freeze-dried in flight suits. Back when what went up still had to come down, we challenged ourselves to change everything. A first-person view of space awaits at the spot where our journey to the heavens began. Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Always exploring.
Miracles happen daily in Delray at Milagro Center. We help enrich the lives of local children and teens through art education, academic support, and mentoring. And now you can be part of the miracle. Whether you become a mentor, teach an art or music class, organize a fundraiser, or simply make a donation, you'll be making an extraordinary difference in the life of a child. To find out how you can help Milagro Center, call 561-279-2970 or visit milagrocenter.org.
4555.
Tomorrow morning, trying to get your garden through the heat of summer into the fall, our boy Lou Manfredini brings his green thumbs in studio with the tips and tricks. Wake up with Al tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by Olive Garden. Discover the delicious new things Olive Garden is bringing to the table.
Olive Garden's Buy One, Take One is back, starting at $12.99. Join us tonight for your choice of irresistible entrees, like rich and creamy smoked mozzarella chicken bursting with Italian cheese and sun-dried tomatoes, plus unlimited garden salad and warm breadsticks. Then take home another entree free, like our indulgent fettuccine Alfredo. It's 2 delicious nights of togetherness for one low price. Buy One, Take One, starting at $12.99. Olive Garden, we're all family here. Now order Olive Garden to go online.
Currently in our area, 88 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 92. Tonight, cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Wednesday, morning thunderstorms. High 89. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Breaking right now, we do have tropical depression number 4 named in the Atlantic. It's the first time actually this entire season that we've been watching a little farther off to the east, and we've seen something form. This typically happens in August right along the monsoonal trough. That's what we're seeing right now. Winds 35 miles an hour, but the wind's not as crucial right now. It's what those thunderstorms are doing inside the system. So you can see a little bit of a movement toward that cluster of thunderstorms right around the center. That is crucial. We need the thunderstorms to produce heat and to create that warm core, make it stronger. That's exactly how we see these tropical depressions turn into tropical storms or even hurricanes. That's a possibility. If it's named a tropical storm by Wednesday morning, it could be such. That's tomorrow morning, anticipated to strengthen. This is the official forecast here, to 45 miles an hour by that time, and it would be Tropical Storm Danny. Look forward here, Friday morning into Saturday and Sunday, could be 100 mile an hour maximum sustained wind hurricane approaching the Windward Islands. There's a couple of things here, though. We've got very strong wind shear over the Caribbean, so that's going to be a roadblock for this. That's going to be a hurdle for this to overcome. Not to mention, we desperately need some rain in the Caribbean, right? Jen and I were just talking about this. We desperately need that rainfall. We've got significant drought there, so it could actually be a positive thing. That's something that these tropical storms do, what they're created for, why they exist. They transport heat and they transport moisture right up into our areas. So we're watching this one closely.
Just reading some blogs actually out of the Caribbean, and all the islands, you know, are talking about this as we are too, just getting announced, and they're hoping for rain. So we'll keep tracking it. In the meantime, we got to track some big rain over portions of the deep south of the U.S. Yesterday, Forsyth County, Georgia, look at what happened here. We had some big rain. You can see it in the street lamp right there, or the sidewalk lamp, and you can see how that's rocking a little bit with that wind. And then really in the parking lot lights, you can see all of that rain coming down. You look down to the parking lot itself, big puddles everywhere. These are the days where you just wish you wore flip-flops, rubber flip-flops, so that you don't get your shoes all wet. So we had the big rain, we had some wind all across portions of the south. We also had this in Mississippi. You hear those sirens, and you see out there in the distance a big old funnel cloud. We can't see all the way down to the ground, so we don't know if this does extend to the ground or not. This right here looks like like a wall cloud right there, and then the funnel below it. This is in Covington County, Mississippi. This video from the county hospital emergency room entrance. There were reports of trees down, also some structural damage reported. No reports of injuries, but the Weather Service will be out there to assess the damage and confirm that it was a tornado that created that damage. So let's take a look at the radar recap here. We were watching again right around the Collins area. You know, I didn't actually see a tornado report come into the Storm Prediction Center on this. There was some wind damage reports that came in, and here it is right here, Mayfield Road and Craft Road. But within that report, there was possible tornado. So that's why the Weather Service will be out. It looks like this is the tail end of that little cell. This cell right here, the tail end of it, is what spawned that damage. So in the southeast today, I think you're going to see mainly heavy rain, lightning as the main threats. There might be some strong damaging winds as well, like we saw yesterday. But really overall, there's just a lot of moisture for storms to work with. Mobile, Alabama, your dew point is up in the upper 70s, 78 degrees. Oh, it is so humid out there. So storms today, chance tomorrow, again on Thursday. Not a lot changing in the southeast over the next couple of days. So we're going to keep this wet forecast. Chattanooga, we had a record rainfall yesterday of over 2 inches. You're still getting rain. It is pouring out there right now, and we've got a couple of areas to watch around the Carolinas as well. Lots of moisture coming into the area. That's going to keep us nice and stormy here. And I say nice because we do need the rainfall. You look at where the drought is across Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and especially in South and North Carolina. So this rain coming in is actually fairly well placed. We'll be right back.
Can a protein originally found in a jellyfish improve your memory? Our scientists say yes. Researchers have discovered a protein that actually supports healthier brain function. It's the breakthrough in a supplement called Prevagen. As we age, we lose proteins that support our brain. Prevagen supplements these proteins and has been clinically shown to improve memory. It's safe and effective. For support of healthier brain function, a sharper mind, and clearer thinking, try Prevagen for yourself today.
I'm Phil Mickelson, pro golfer. My psoriatic arthritis caused joint pain.
Just like my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis.
And I was worried about
joint damage. My doctor said joint pain from RA can be a sign of existing joint damage that could only get worse. He prescribed Enbrel to help relieve pain and help stop further damage.
Enbrel may lower your ability to fight infections. Serious, sometimes fatal events, including infections, tuberculosis, lymphoma, other cancers, nervous system and blood disorders, and allergic reactions have occurred. Tell your doctor if you've been someplace where fungal infections are common, or if you're prone to infections, have cuts or sores, have had hepatitis B, have been treated for heart failure, or if you have persistent fever, bruising, bleeding, or paleness. Don't start Enbrel if you have an infection like the flu.
Joint pain and damage
Can go side by side.
Ask how Enbrel can help relieve joint pain and help stop joint damage.
Enbrel, the #1 rheumatologist prescribed biologic.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Health reform has added significant new benefits to Medicare plans. If you have Medicare Part A, Part B, Part D, or any Medicare Advantage plan, you now get benefits with no copays, no deductibles, and can get dental, vision, and prescription coverage included. Call the Medicare Health Reform Helpline now to make sure you have all the benefits you're entitled to. Call the Medicare Health Reform Helpline now to update your plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. The cost of health insurance and the denial of coverage because of pre-existing conditions has been a serious problem in America. But now the law has changed. Healthcare reform is now available. So many people do not take advantage of the benefits offered to them by healthcare reform because they don't call. Call now.
The Medicare Health Reform Helpline is now accepting calls. Don't miss the deadline. Call the Medicare Health Reform Helpline.
Call 800-399-2752. That's 800-399-2752. 800-399-2752.
What's the most important thing your parents do for you?
They buy me food. They make sure I'm never lost. Well, they pay my allowance, encourage me. Sing us a lullaby at night. A lullaby at night. Oh, now I remember.
Why does it matter that Cigna covers preventive care? Because the next most important thing you can do for them is take care of yourself. Cigna, together, all the way.
Pets are family, and we know it. So trust 1-800-PET-MEDS for the exact same medications the vet sells, but for a lot less. Call or order online today at 1-800-PETMEDS.com.
Let's move now.
Why was she dropped into Times Square? And why was my name tattooed on her back?
She can't remember who she is. Nothing.
We think she might have been a SEAL.
That'd explain a few things.
Blind Spot premieres Monday, September 21st on NBC.
Currently in our area, 88 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 92. Tonight, cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Wednesday, morning thunderstorms. High 89. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
AMHQ hacks from foodies for the hottest days of the year and how your favorite pro golfers and race car drivers beat the August temps and stay on their game on AMHQ.
Yikes, check out this brush fire that broke out in Montebello, Southern California on Sunday. The fire quickly grew to 370 acres, forcing evacuations and halting operations at a nearby oil field. It also forced eastbound lanes of State Route 60 to be shut down for a few hours. The Montebello Police Department reported that a fireman was sent to the hospital due to heat exhaustion, and authorities have arrested a homeless man suspected of setting the fire. Thanks for staying with us here on Weather Center Live. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno.
And I'm meteorologist Kate Parker. Now, we've seen a lot of fires like that break out west, but we also have increasing fire bans in Texas and in the south because of a lack of rain.
Oh, the dry stretch continues in Texas. 45 days in Dallas now without rain.
No
and
rain.
Have to say, this is our best shot in a while. We've got a pretty strong front crossing the plains, which may bring northern Texas, a couple of showers.
Hard to believe that they're looking for more rain, but they are there. Okay, so coming up in a few minutes, we're going to go inside weather. We're going to talk about that pattern and this unusual setup and what it has to do with El Nino with WSI senior meteorologist Dan Leonard.
All right, but first we want to follow some of our top stories for you today, and that is our newly named tropical depression in the Atlantic. It is Tropical Depression 4. We're also continuing to track the risk of a multi-day severe weather threat.
Yeah, we have torcons of 4 today across parts of Iowa, Missouri, Kansas. The timing of this all is, I think, what's key here, Jen. I think you have a closer look at that.
Yeah, so we've got a lot going on for you. And, you know, storms are out there already today. We've been looking at the lightning tracker, lightning in Iowa, lightning in Missouri, lightning down into portions of Kansas as well. However, there's going to be, we think, storms that fire later today that bring the threat for severe weather. So watching this whole area in red from Iowa down into Missouri, straight down into Kansas, Oklahoma, and even parts of northern Texas. As I mentioned, Dallas, 45 days, no rain. We've got the chance to get maybe a couple of showers in here later today. Hope it doesn't come with any severe weather, though. So first stop is the Torcon, and in west central Iowa, northwestern Missouri, eastern Kansas, it's a 4. You know, we look at the dynamics, and there's a lot coming together in the atmosphere, a lot of forcing to help get these storms going. Central Kansas, it's a 3. That's a 3 out of 10 on the Torcon for today. One thing, though, that we're going to have to watch is see how much longer all of this cloud cover sticks around. Right now, pretty much all of Iowa covered in clouds, and that's because of the rain and storms we've had this morning. But as this low comes through, that's going to be one of the forcing mechanisms that we look with to lift this very warm, moist air that is coming out ahead of it. Not to mention, our jet stream energy digs right in across this area. This is why we're highlighting Iowa here with a 4 on the Torcon for today, because everything coming together. This is where we've got the jets kind of crossing and turning with height as you look at the jet streams at the different levels. Also, the main jet stream at the upper levels, the best energy is digging right in across this area as well. And really, as you take a look here at our water vapor, I want to show you sort of everything kind of digging right in right here across portions of Iowa and Nebraska. So we're expecting storms to fire here. If the rain and the clouds stick around all day, that would certainly preclude some very strong storms from happening because it cuts down on the instability, but it doesn't make it 0 either. So we have to watch that for today. Let's take a look at our high-res future radar to show you how things are going to play out. I thought it did a great job yesterday of timing things out for us. So let's look at it for this afternoon, 4 o'clock. Now we're seeing the bulk of the messy rain move east. Des Moines, St. Louis, you might be getting that. But now Kansas City, you start to see this more speckly or cellular look to the future radar. That's indicating some supercell kind of thunderstorms that may be packing a punch by later this afternoon and early this evening. Now we get to 8 o'clock and we see that big cluster into central portions of Missouri. Chicago could be getting some storms at this time as well, with another round by 11 o'clock tonight coming through St. Louis. And then tomorrow, the whole thing moves east, lower Michigan, right back down into Ohio, all the way down to Arkansas. We are looking at that risk of thunderstorms, damaging winds and hail, the main threat, and we keep on tracking it into Thursday. You can see Pittsburgh, D.C., Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Buffalo, all in the risk area by Thursday as we track this very dynamic system moving east. Kate.
Okay, so Jen, we've been talking about Tropical Depression 4, just named about 30 minutes ago, but if you're looking at this satellite image, you're saying, okay, why this cluster of thunderstorms, right? This is Tropical Depression 4. Why not this guy over here? I want you to look at some of the features on this because this is what's fascinating when we look at this satellite. See how we have these clouds, like these striations right here coming off? Well, that's because of the westerly shear. It's taking the top of those thunderstorms and it's kind of tearing them apart. What you need for a tropical system is a warm core. It is a heat transport engine. So those thunderstorms, as they form, you want that heat, that latent heat, to stay higher in the atmosphere right on top of where you have it. So wind shear is very bad. You obviously have some over the Windward Islands. That's some good news. That doesn't change the fact that this still has some room to strengthen. By the time we get to Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning, 45-mile-an-hour winds, that would mean that this would be named Tropical Storm Danny. By the time we get to Sunday morning, we could be looking at a 100-mile-an-hour hurricane approaching the Windward Islands. There is some good news to this, though. It has moisture with it, badly needed in the Caribbean. They're in significant drought. They could really use some of that rainfall. The satellite image giving us a clear picture here, so just one to watch. That's for sure, Jen.
We're going to chat more about El Nino right now. Of course, it is on course to become one of the strongest. So how does it relate to unusual weather and specifically the pattern we are in right now? Let's bring in Dan Leonard from WSI to go inside weather. You know, this pattern that we're looking at right now, Dan, with the chance of strong to severe weather and this very strong low pressure system, it reminds us of a fall-like system. Does this relate to El Nino?
Yeah, absolutely. In a typical El Nino summertime pattern, you tend to have a stronger than normal jet stream, and you also have more short waves embedded into that jet stream that drop down out of Canada. So what that means typically is a very changeable pattern for the eastern half of the country especially, and a lot of stormy activity. And that's exactly what we're going to have over the next week or so, one front after another dropping down from Canada. So a lot of severe weather. You don't normally think of August as a severe weather month, but this might be the exception, especially over the next 10 days or so. A couple of very strong fronts that drop down from Canada, and I think especially this weekend across the Midwest there could be some pretty extensive severe weather. So yes, this is typical of a late summer El Nino type pattern for sure.
Dan, the question becomes, is that pattern going to be impacted by those giant typhoons that are hanging out in the western Pacific?
Yeah, this is one thing, Kate, that we're always struggling with. When we talk about medium range forecasting, which is basically beyond 6 days, so basically the 1 to 2 week period, we have to look across the globe because that's really where our weather comes from. So when we look out in the West Pacific, we see these two big typhoons that are recurving. And if they get embedded into the upper level pattern across the northern latitudes, that can tend to have a wave breaking effect across the higher latitudes. And what that means for the U.S. is a more amplified jet stream and typically more cool air that drops down out of Canada. Where exactly this cool air goes, that's really the big question mark, but there will be a lot that's ready to pounce down onto the lower 48. My best guess right now is that it probably drops into the western U.S. as we look into roughly the 10 to 15 day period. So that same area that's been so hot this summer, especially the Pacific Northwest, may actually get a little bit on the below normal side as we head forward, and that shifts the heat more into the central U.S. So areas like the plains and maybe again the Midwest as we head out to about 10 days to 15 days from now probably turn a lot warmer, I think.
So in a nutshell, would you tell your clients to expect a lot of sort of extreme but changeable weather in the coming weeks and month?
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, but confidence in the forecast is lower than normal. If, for example, these typhoons decide not to recurve, then that affects the entire high latitude pattern over the northern hemisphere, and then the forecast really goes out the window. So it really comes down to what happens with these big typhoons out in the West Pacific, whether they recurve or not, and that has a really big impact on the forecast 1 to 2 weeks from now.
All right, it is fascinating. Yeah, how we're all connected, right?
I love going inside weather with you, Dan. You always have great stuff there. Okay,
sure,
so we
anytime.
do have some cooler days in store for the Northeast.
Yeah,
finally.
After our big heat wave, right? Boston, New York City, heat wave. Philadelphia, we're still in it, in the low 90s again today, but we will tell you when temps are going down as the storms roll in.
Currently in our area, 88 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 92. Tonight, cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 78. Wednesday, morning thunderstorms. High 89. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Are you tired of bulky wallets crowding your purse? Is that wallet bump under your rump hurting your back? Sick of searching for ID, cards, and cash? Introducing Wonder Wallet, the amazingly flat wallet that's twice as thin as a regular wallet, but holds twice as much. Incredible! Go from bulky and fat to slim and compact. From so stuffed you can barely bend her to flat and slender. Crafted with genuine leather, Wonder Wallet features 12 clear sleeves to hold up to 24 cards. ID, gift, credit cards, insurance, and more. Plus cash, organized, and super slim. The secret is Wonder Wallet's patented design. It's laid out like a photo album, so it holds twice as many cards on each side. See everything at a glance. This wallet's overstuffed, but everything fits perfectly in Wonder Wallet. And why carry this big old wallet when Wonder Wallet is so thin, it all fits right in.
Wow, does it ever hold a lot of cards?
It's fabulous. Nice and flat, and it fits perfectly in your back pocket.
I would rather carry something like this around that is very thin and would fit everything that I have in this bulky one.
It's nice slim line, fits in there, it's comfortable and kind of invisible.
Soft, supple leather flexes, so it's comfortable to sit on, even in the car. RFID blocking stops remote scanning of cards and protects private information. Ordinary wallets can cost over $100, but get Wonder Wallet now, crafted with genuine leather for just $19.95. Available in black, tan, or red. Order right now, and we'll double the offer and send a second Wonder Wallet in the same color free. Just pay separate processing and handling. That's 2 Wonder Wallets and over $80 value for just $19.95. This special TV offer is not available in stores. Call or click to order Wonder Wallet now.
To order Wonder Wallet for $19.95 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-437-6141 or order online at getwonderwallet.com. Call or log on today.
Tweezing, plucking, ugh, and I hate waxing. That's the only thing that kept me from getting into a bikini. Well, that and fettuccine alfredo. Then I found the Yes!
The instant and pain-free hair remover from Finishing Touch that has women everywhere smiling because it's not a laser or electrolysis and it's not waxing or shaving.
And I hate waxing. OMG, the first time I had it happen, I thought, this is like torture.
You can use this from head to toe. So it doesn't matter what part of your body you need to take care of, you can do it all with one product.
With breakthrough Sensolite technology, Yes removes unwanted hair with no pain and no irritation, and hair will never grow back thicker. The secret is micro-oscillation that sweeps away unwanted hair anywhere with no pain and no irritation. Gentle on all skin types and colors, perfect for teens and tweens, and ideal for women of all ages.
I don't understand why anyone would say no when you can say yes.
Now you can say yes to legs that are soft and smooth with no nicks or cuts. And yes to removing unwanted facial hair without the pain of waxing or plucking. Finally, you can say no to painful hair removal and no to expensive alternatives that cost hundreds of dollars. And say yes to hair removal that's instant, pain-free, convenient, and affordable with the amazing Yes for just $39.99. Plus, every order today receives free shipping and our 60-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not 100% satisfied, we'll refund every penny. And ask how you can get our deluxe travel case for free.
Get gorgeous without the pain. Get Yes today.
To order Finishing Touch Yes, you can call 1-800-682-8990. That's 1-800-682-8990. Or you can visit us online at finishingtouchyes.com. Must be 18 or older to order. You can call or click today. Call 1-800-682-8990. That's 1-800-682-8990. Call now.
So this big multi-day severe weather threat started yesterday in Wyoming and Colorado. We had some big storms out there with a lot of rain, hail, damaging winds. Seems like you had it all right here in Wyoming. This is Gillette, which is about 2 hours north of Casper. First of all, take a look. Hail covering the deck right here in the flower pots too. Top of the deck, you see it. It looks like it might be snow, right? But this is definitely hail. We had a lot of rain coming down, very gusty winds up over 60 miles per hour. And nearby Wright, Wyoming reported some nickel-sized hail as well. We'll take a look at the radar and you'll see all the active weather that came on through and all the storm reports. There are the storms that blew through Gillette and all the wind reports that came out of it right along I-90, also south of town as well, and several hail reports throughout the area as well in Wyoming. Now today we're going to keep on looking for the risk of storms as this whole system tracks east. Everything was really coming together yesterday over Wyoming and Colorado. Today though, it's a little further east, a lot of forcing out there. Very dynamic atmosphere, Kate.
And speaking of the dynamics of the atmosphere, SLIM, SLIM, that's something that here at the Weather Channel we look for as far as the ingredients go for severe weather. It stands for shear, lift, instability, and moisture. Meteorologist Mike Bettis has this dynamic, in-depth look at moisture.
One thing you often look for when forecasting severe weather is moisture. But what is it, where is it, and what do you do with it? Well, moisture is simply how much water there is in the air around us. Where is it? Usually a big body of water, say like the Gulf of Mexico. But what do you do with that Gulf of Mexico moisture? Well, you transport it, which means southerly winds move that moisture onto land. And if those southerly winds are strong enough, you can transport that moisture all the way to Canada. Now, the more moisture in the atmosphere, the greater the rate of condensation, which means more clouds that form, and even thunderstorms. And it's those thunderstorms that can sometimes produce tornadoes.
So what does the moisture look like today, right? We need all those ingredients. We've got the moisture in play. Take a look at this setup. We've got these strong low-level winds and then these winds out of the south helping to bring the moisture into the lower levels and up a little bit in the atmosphere. But the key is that this is very warm air, right? And this is cooler, drier air. So that cooler, drier air along that cold front going to go underneath that warm air, that moist air lifted up in the atmosphere. And then once that parcel's lifted, it's going to be sustained by these low-level winds as well as this upper level wind. And we've also got a difference in the direction that's coming out of, right? So we've got southerly winds at the surface, a little bit more southwest, and then westerly as you head up in the atmosphere, which tells us there's some spin present. There is that directional change in height, and there's a possibility of seeing 1 or 2 tornadoes today. That's not out of the question, but I would say that damaging winds and hail should be your primary worry. If you hear the tornado sirens going off, if your phone starts going off, though, it's time to take cover. From Des Moines South through Oklahoma City, Jen.
And it's a multi-day threat, too, Kate. We've got the risk tomorrow in portions of the Great Lakes down into the Ohio Valley. By the time we get to Thursday, we are tracking the Northeast. So right now we look outside in Pittsburgh and Syracuse and D.C. all look fine right now. A little hazy and hot. Yes, no doubt. We got another warm day ahead. But the main risk for storms comes in